What's up, YouTube? It's Sadorj here with Tasty Tracker, and I wanted to do an update on FCX on the small count challenge here. I've really been nailing this challenge so far, and I mean that as sarcastically as possible. Basically, I was looking at all the potential trades I could put on coming forward here, and I got down to FCX, and that looked pretty good. Now, I've since written a little short algorithm to tell me which trades to focus in on. But at the time, anyway, it only required around 270 uh, collateral, and it was collecting around 64. So this seems like a good idea. However, yesterday it was trading up here near the top of its range. So I thought, well, maybe if it comes down to 30 here, that would be a good place to add. So I had put a working order in, and at the time it was trading for like 30. I was like, oh, well, if I get like 72, that would be pretty good. It was like I said, like double what it was trading at the time. But it was really as a reminder for me to try to put something on if it got here down to 30. I also set an alert over here if FCX got less than 30 that it would trigger an alert for me to remember to do it. Well, in the volatility yesterday, it filled, and then of course immediately went down by at least $8. Um, Now today we're basically at break even again. You could still get in at a better price than what I have, but let's go over that trade, and I promise I'll try to stop screwing up here as we go forward. Currently, you can see buying power left remaining is 458, so using about 540, that's right where I want it to be, half of our buying power occupied. And if we go back to the chart, what I'm looking at here is a increasing support line. Um, so in theory, yes, it could come down here and it might be somewhere around $28. That would be support for this channel. That's also a horizontal support here. Let me draw that on here for you real quick. Somewhere like that. Uh, so right around this support as well. Um, and so, yeah, to me, that looked like a good potential. It doesn't have earnings till way out here, which is after our expiration. I have the expiration on this red line. I have this green line here, which is our strike. So the strike exactly is a 27. So yeah, if I click on this and then go to the cog, then I can see that it's 27. So anyway, in order to hit 27, it would have to be below what I perceive to be a support, horizontal and a channel support. And again, that's by expiration. Anything above that and we'll be good. And it's actually lower than 27 because of our break even for the premium we collected. I don't typically look at break evens that way. I just look at the strike, but to each their own. Okay, so the net liquidity you can see here is 985, so we're down about $15 overall, and you can see we're coming back pretty healthy again, and we haven't really moved too much, especially if you take into account yesterday when I did the fill. It filled yesterday at 326. I also try to not do things towards the end of the day, and again, that wasn't necessarily on purpose. So anyway, let's go over to shop, just take a peek at this. And yeah, so exactly where it was and has been over the past couple days. But yet we're starting to come back around. And that's just theta playing into the position. You can see they have an 80 and an 85%. Those correlate to the deltas. So this FCX is higher than what I normally want to go. That's a 20 delta. And when I put the working order, it was much lower. So maybe would want to go one more strike conservative. If I was doing it today, I would probably choose the 26 just to get us down to 15. I don't think 27 is any issue. I still think the position's fine, but just to get a little bit lower, delta's a little bit less risk. That said, on the previous screen, the support was still at a good spot. So I will go over this in a future video, and these two fields here and this. I can cover this today actually because it's just a really quick note. Starting with $1,000 is really tough to get anywhere. You have no wiggle room. If the market goes against you, you can't hedge positions or put on complementary positions. You can't just sit if the buying power were to go through the roof, or the collateral required, and then this would plummet. Um, Even if the position was fine as far as strikes are concerned, now I'm worrying about depositing money or getting margin called, etc. And so my whole point with this little thing is just to say, in order to get to the next sort of big number is 100%, but then to get to the next big number after that is only 50% and 33%. And so each way along, it becomes less and less of a big deal to get to the next $1,000. Um, and obviously, you know that, but it's just a something to remember that starting with 1,000 is basically impossible. It's not, everybody's done it, and I'm trying to do it, and I think I'll be fine. But you're making your life so much harder if you're starting off with such a small amount. If you can contribute a couple bucks, that will get you up to the 2,000. To get from 2 to 3 is just that much easier. You only have to come up another 50%. So the other thing is the more cushion you have, the harder you can push your account. So I don't really want to push more than 10% of the account because in order to do that, I'm going to have to push harder and it's going to fluctuate more and I get more of a chance of blowing up. So, if we're being safe here, we only want to aim for a target of 10% on the year. Well, that's only $100. And if I end the year 2023 with 1,100, people are going to be frustrated at me. But if I really, really, really wanted to be safe, and what I would recommend to everybody doing this on their own is to start with these more reasonable annual ROI goals. The further up you get, yeah, you can aim for a 30% ROI because you have 21,000 to work with. That's a whole lot easier to, if a position goes on, again, to hedge it or to double down or do whatever you need to do. Um, but in order to achieve that 30%, but here there's just no wiggle room. So anyway, just food for thought for today. But other than that, if you could do the YouTube things, that would be great, and I'll see you next time.